Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Brev. Welcome to No Money Spent, episode 23. Today is the big day. The new collection is coming out. It's dropping in about half an hour. Also, I have some kind of head cold going on, so if you hear that in my voice, I apologize. But today is super exciting, and SDS actually threw us a curveball today as well. Not only are we getting the big collection dropping at the normal time, but immediately afterwards, we are getting flash sales. So there is a ton of potential to make so many stubs today, and I'm super excited about it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's dive right into my investment strategies and how I'm gonna try to cash out on this stuff today. Unfortunately, I am gonna be posting this video after all is said and done, so I won't be able to give you guys any proactive advice in regards to this stuff, but hopefully you learn something in the future. There should still be some good concepts for y'all to apply. So in the last No Money Spent video, I went over my biggest investments at the time. We bought a ton of Billy Hamilton, Kevin Biggio, Juris Familia from the Milestone series, and also Mike Hampton from the Award series. One of the questions I get asked most often in regards to these collections and the hype building up to them is, should I sell on the hype or should I sell when the collection drops? The answer to that question all depends on your amount of risk tolerance. I will tell you that in general, I sell most of my cards on the hype before the collection drops, but that's just my personality of wanting to take low amounts of risk. If you are available to sell cards as soon as the collection comes out, then you could definitely make a little more doing it right then, but I personally would much rather take my guaranteed profit on the lead up to the collection rather than trying to sell in all the chaos once the collection drops. Usually the market is pretty good on this game at pricing in hype, so usually you can still make a decent profit selling before. And with this collection specifically, I think it probably needs to be a 5-tool outfielder in order to generate enough hype for the prices to rise tremendously. If we get someone like Pujols, then the prices could maybe even tank a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Regardless, I'm actually going to offload all of my investments from the last episode right now before the collection comes out. I'm taking my guaranteed profit and I'm running with it, and I also want to make sure I have liquid stubs available to take advantage of the flash sales on the back end. Having enough stubs available to make even more profit over the course of those flash sales is super important to me, so that's why I'm selling everything. On top of the fact that I'm currently making over 10,000 per card on this Mike Hampton that I invested in, it would be silly not to take that guaranteed profit right now, especially when we can go ahead and flip those stubs into even more investments. But we've got a little bit of a pit stop on the way, which I think has the potential to make us some stubs as well, but first things first, we're going to offload these investments. And obviously I'm keeping one of each of the milestone cards just to help me with the collection as well, so we're selling all of our investments except one of each. Alright, all of our investments are sold off. I just wanted to take a moment to look at this profit we made. I am so excited. We bought most of our Mike Hamptons for around 6,500 stubs just a little while ago, and today we sold basically all of them for around 19k. That is over 10,000 stubs per card of pure profit just from Mike Hampton. The milestone cards were not as profitable, but we still made between 3 and 5k on each card. Now, if you couldn't tell from the spam in the top right of the screen, we are taking a bit of a pit stop with our stubs between when we sell our investments and when we try to profit off of the flash sales. As I have said in many videos before, if you can catch a diamond card selling for around 5,000 stubs, it's basically a risk-free investment. That is because you can just straight up quick sell a diamond card from your inventory for 5,000 stubs. So I noticed this was the case with these diamond prospect cards, and I'm hoping to make a quick buck if they're required for the collection. Nobody really knows if they're still going to use prospects or how many you'll need, just because they haven't added many of them in the game for a long time. But like I said, they are basically a risk-free investment at this price point, so we're actually going to park all of our profit into these cards before the collection drops. And then if you do actually need a lot of prospect cards for the collection, we could see a spike in price. And with the price points that I bought them at, if they actually don't move at all in terms of price, I'm just gonna straight up quick sell them. I'll lose anywhere between like 5 and 10 stubs per card, which is totally fine, and then we will go ahead and use those stubs on flash sale investments. So what I'm really trying to do is park my investment profit in these cards very short term, and if they spike, we're gonna make even more, and if not, we're still okay for later. The collection should be dropping any minute now, so this is exciting times. I'm actually surprised by how many cards we were actually able to buy using this method. You can see we have 11 JJ Bledays, 9 Marco Luciano, 9 Grayson Rodriguez, 17 Riley Green, 12 Matthew Liberatore, and 7 Jason Dominguez. With just the sheer amount of cards that we bought, even if these go up by like 2k, we could still be looking at around a 50k profit on just this pit stop before the flash sales. We'll see what happens. I'm super stoked. Alright, the collection is out. It is 99 MVP Mookie Betts. Can't say I saw this one coming, but this card is ridiculous. I was hoping it was some sort of 5-tool outfielder, so I am super excited. Also, you need 35 prospect cards, which is higher than I was expecting, and that means you do need some diamond cards, not just the golds, to get it done. Upon seeing this, I think we might actually have some potential to make some insane stubs right now. Also, quick side note, as we wait for these prices to move, it appears that selling off the hype was definitely the play. Mike Hampton is already down to 11,000 stubs. Alright, so we waited half an hour. Prices really haven't moved at all with these prospect cards, so we'll probably just end up quick selling them. We need to have our stubs available for this first flash sale here soon. In general, the sentiment seems to be that the collection requires a ton of cards, and some of the prices on the market have tanked because of this. I think it's because a lot of people are realizing they can't get Mookie right away, and so they're selling off their extra cards while they can. I'm super glad I sold my investments on the hype beforehand because we made a ton of stubs from that. Depending on how the flash sales go, we could even look at reinvesting those stubs back into the cards that we already sold, like Mike Hampton, but we'll see what happens. Gonna offload these prospect cards and then gear up for the first flash sale. My best guesses for the flash sales today are gonna be an X headliner pack, kitchen sink 1 and 2, a home run derby pack, and an all-star game pack. Okay, we sold the prospects cards back, so we are sitting at 308,000 stubs. Hopefully we can make a ton of profit from these flash sales. It's very clear we're not gonna get Mookie Betts anytime soon, so hopefully we can just make some extra stubs. Like I said earlier, I'm mostly looking for home run derby and all-star game packs. Those would be huge. Would love to start working on the Shohei Ohtani collection since he does count as a voucher for Mookie as well. Alright, the first flash sale pack is a live series pack for 20k. This is 100% not worth it at all, and we probably can't even make any stubs off of it, so this has been a pretty disappointing day so far. We'll check back in an hour for hopefully something a little bit better. Alright, we're back 5 minutes away from the next flash sale, and I did actually realize that I never opened my World Series pack from last season, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take Vita Blue out of here and sell him just to give us more stubs to try to make profits on the flash sales. I'm pretty close to World Series already this year. I'm not gonna need this card. I was really just holding the pack to see who was most expensive. I think this extra 100k to invest will help us out a ton. Alright, now we're in business. Flash sale number 2 is a kitchen sink 1 pack for 15k. We have made a ton of stubs on this before. The prices of these base round cards should tank immensely, and we should be able to buy a bunch of them for super cheap. And I also just noticed that kitchen sink 2 is active at the exact same time, so this is actually crazy. We have 2 simultaneous flash sale packs for this hour. Every single card that was a kitchen sink card is going to tank in price, and this is super interesting because it means they have a lot more up their sleeve than we thought today. Alright, so here's what we've done. We bought all of the awards and prime base round cards from the kitchen sink packs. We picked up 1 of each of Eloy Jimenez, Rick Porcello, Bill Mazeroski, David Robertson, Travis d'Arnaud, and Darren O'Day. Like I said earlier, I really want to pace myself through these flash sales with my stubs because I'm holding out hope for home run derby and all-star game packs. So I am only going to pick up 1 of each for now, but if you were investing in these, I think 10k is a good price, and you could definitely make a ton of stubs just buying these up at 10k and then selling them later on in like a week. We've done this for several flash sales now, so hopefully you guys are able to make some stubs doing this every time they happen. I will say this price point though at 15k for each pack is super tempting. The fact that you could pull a base round card and it's still worth 10k means this pack is probably holding a lot of value, so I'm actually going to buy both of them. This is one of the rare times where buying the pack from the sale may actually pay off. We got 1 kitchen sink 1 and 1 kitchen sink 2, and we rip off with a base round right away. But that's okay, man. 100% worth the risk. We only lose 4k stubs, and that's if we sold right now. We'll take a Darren O'Day to hold on to for later. Kitchen sink 2, also a base round. Unfortunate, but like I said, definitely worth the risk. We'll take this Walter Johnson card. Since we don't have him, we can start working on our own collection. That's about all we're gonna do for this kitchen sink flash sale. I'm happy they did this one. I am also looking at some of these milestone cards from the rare round from kitchen sink, mainly Fergie Jenkins and Sean Green. 40k as a price point is super tempting to me, but I just don't have the stubs to let it rip right now. I want to save them for later on. Definitely could end up being really good buys for people though. We'll come back in a little while for the next flash sale. There's 3 of them left today. Alright, beautiful. Flash sale number 3 is an X headliners pack for 20k. This is going to be amazing for people going for collections. This pack guarantees 1 diamond headliner from sets 1 through 26. At 20k, I definitely don't think it's worth buying the pack itself, but we're going to go to the marketplace and try to pick up some cards for cheap, namely cards of the big series like Milestone, Signature, Prime, all that good stuff. So we did only snag 4 cards. People are really on top of it today, and the 20k price point of the pack kept a lot of cards from falling really low in terms of price. But I'm really happy with the purchases we made. We snagged a Brian Roberts for 20k. He's already up to 30k again. We got Dan Plesac and AJ Burnett for around 15k, and we got a CJ Abrams for right around quick sell value. Definitely could have invested a lot more in this one as well, but I'm not as close to Mookie as some other people are, and like I said, I'm trying to save these stubs for All-Star Game and Home Run Derby packs. I need these packs to come through for me, man. If we don't get All-Star Game and Home Run Derby packs today, I am going to be big sad. All right, I am so excited. It is a flash sale for Home Run Derby cards for $25K, and you can buy 2 of them. This is going to be huge for the marketplace. It's going to be huge for trying to get Ohtani, and I've already placed some pre-orders in, so hopefully they start flowing in. I placed pre-orders for the base round guys at $10K and the mid-round guys at $35K. Hopefully these get filled. At $25K for the pack, I could definitely see these base round at $10K going through easily. Buy order for Trevor Story for $35K goes through. I am stoked. Matt Olson, $10K goes through. Joey Gallo, $10K. Juan Soto, $35K. I accidentally backed out. It looks like I may be overpaying a bit for these mid-tier cards, but I will just take it. If you asked me an hour ago if I would spend $35K on these cards in a heartbeat, I would have said yes. Shohei goes through at $10K, and Salvador Perez goes through at $10,001. So we just picked up every base round card from the Home Run Derby pack and every mid-tier card for a total of 115,000 stubs. Seriously, could not be happier with this. If you're wondering where my other stubs went, I have pre-orders in for the All-Star Game cards because that's obviously going to be the next pack now. I am, however, still exactly 1 card short from Shohei, even if all 5 of these orders go through, so I'm gonna have to scrape up some stubs somewhere. I've decided I'm gonna sell my Christy Mathewson investment from the last video. We bought this card for $62K, so we're looking at around a $30K profit anyway. This should be exactly enough stubs to get us Shohei if our pre-orders for the All-Star Game cards go through. And it did just go through basically as soon as I placed it, so that's an extra $99K, and dang it, they're already above that. They're already back up to 110. It appears as though I put in pre-orders at the perfect prices though. The mid rounds are already back up to 40 and the base rounds are sitting right around 10K. Gonna sell off my 2 base round cards from the kitchen sink packs early just to get enough stubs to try to get Shohei done today. Our sell order for Darren O'Day went through at 12,408, so we lost around 2,500 on buying that pack, but these prices are back down to 100K. Gonna try to snag a Pete Alonso really quickly, and it goes through almost instantly. That leaves us with 10K stubs cash. We have pre-orders set for Xander, Liam, Lance Lynn, JT Real Muto, and Vlad Jr. Vlad Jr. at 138K. I'm not exactly sure if that'll go through. That might be a little bit low, but we will find out in an hour. But this has suddenly turned incredibly exciting because as you can see on screen, we are 5 cards away from Shohei, and we have exactly 5 pre-orders placed on the market. If all 5 of them go through for around the prices that I have them at, then we are getting 99 Shohei today thanks to these flash sales. Absolutely incredible stuff, man. There it is. As expected, the last flash sale pack is the All-Star Game pack. You can buy 2 of these as well for $25K. I am headed straight to the market to monitor my pre-orders and just make sure I'm not overpaying for anything, and hopefully we get these 5 orders to go through, man. Come on. Okay, that did not go how I was expecting at all, but the deed is done and Shohei is gonna be ours. The pre-orders we placed in were way too low, especially for the mid-round and rare rounds. We did manage to snag a Liam Hendricks for $6K and a Xander Bogaerts for $6,300. However, we ended up spending $54,000 on Lance Lynn, $55,000 on JT Real Muto, and after buying those 2 cards, I was sitting on around 120K with just 1 card remaining. I really wanted that last card to be Vlad Jr. and not someone like Trey Mancini, because I truly think Vlad Jr. is one of the best cards in the game right now, and I want him playing for me. Even though it's more expensive, it makes sense to lock him in because I'm going to be using him for a while. And so we made a really poor long-term decision, and we actually sold off 3 of our 4 ex-headliner investments from earlier today. We made decent profit on them. We bought Dan Plesac and AJ Burnett for around 15K each. We ended up selling them for around 27K, and we sold Brian Roberts for 27K after buying him for 20. All 3 of these cards will absolutely be selling for a lot more in just a couple days, so like I said, this was a very short-term thing, but I had my eye on the prize. I didn't want to end this episode without picking up Shohei Ohtani, so we scraped together the stubs and we bought Vlad Jr. for 186K. Definitely panic overpaid for these mid-tier guys. They're down to 50K now, but it's definitely worth it. If you guys didn't know, for this Shohei Ohtani collection, you can skip 3 cards. So the cards we ended up skipping were Cespedes, the event reward, 98 Trey Mancini, and 99 Freddie Peralta. Didn't see myself ever using Freddie, to be honest, and we went with basically the cheapest options besides him. So here it is, the moment of truth. 46 out of 46, 99 Shohei Ohtani has been acquired. no money spent. So insanely excited about this. And if you guys remember from our ranked play, we are 2 wins away from World Series, so this is going to be a huge pickup for us trying to make that final push. Here is a look at the new and improved squad. We added Vlad Jr. starting at first base. We picked up Acuna, obviously, from finishing TA3. We also picked up Wander Franco from our 4th inning bosses pack, and we have 99 Shohei Ohtani on the bump. Going into our 2 World Series games, we're going to have deGrom into Ohtani, so it should be a really good time. And I 100% was not going into today expecting to have Shohei at the end of it, so I could not be happier. A huge collection dropped today, and we finished a collection. It just wasn't the one everyone else did. But to have Live Series done, to have Mariano Rivera done, and to now have Shohei done, all no money spent, I could not be more excited. And as far as what we learned today, market lessons, it's safe to say that when and if the next big collection drops, to sell before the day of to make profit on the hype rather than trying to sell the day of. Today definitely showed us that if the community is disappointed with the reward, or if it's too difficult to get right away, then prices are not going to go up. But overall, it was an extremely productive day for us. That's gonna do it for No Money Spent episode 23. What an episode it was. Thank y'all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see y'all in the next one.